All right. Good morning. Yeah, it's getting kind of fun now, isn't it? It's kind of fun now that we've got them. Let me turn on a little light here. Need a little light in the room. I want to show y'all something really cool because everything goes to the reality that we have a race of locusts that are going to come out of the pit. That's a no-brainer now. There's no doubt about it. That's what the Bible says. That's where all this is going. That's one of the plagues that's coming. The pit, the bottomless pit is going to be opened up. A lot of people don't really, I guess a lot of people that don't even really know their Bible. Maybe they go to church or maybe they've been indoctrinated, but they've never read their Bible. They've never read, whoa, what's this all about? And there's locusts and they're in the pit and they have a king over them. His name's Apollyon. Wow, they're going to come out. That's what it says. That's what the Bible says. And now the Lord's let me prove it. He's let me prove that all these hidden things that when you turn them upside down, that are related to the virgin, they all end up being bugs. Because that's what we're being used for, to feed a race in the pit that are bugs. They're locusts from the pit. That's why everything turns to bug, 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 bug. That's why I was laughing now. It's like they're busted. So there's nothing to be afraid of anymore. There's no fear, and perfect love casts out all fear. Once you know the truth, Jesus said, "I am the truth. I am the way, the truth, and the life." So once you know Jesus, you're like, I'm cool. Not worried about them anymore. That was the way they kept everybody slaves, with fear of the unknown. The unknown's known now. We don't even have to worry about it. Let me show you something really cool. Watch this. This kind of came up this morning, and I remember this from the 90s. There's a film called Mimic right here. Okay, we'll just do the quick synopsis here. When a cockroach spread plague threatens to decimate the child population of New York City, evolutionary biologist Susan Tyler Mira Sorvino and her research associates rig up a species of, look at this, Judas bugs and introduce them into the environment where they will mimic the diseased roaches and infiltrate their grubby habitats. So far, so good until the bugs keep on evolving and learn to mimic their next prey, humans. Okay, well, yeah, this is a sci-fi thriller movie. But when I saw this, I remember watching this, decades ago, and there's something about the movie. I was like, wow, that's just really interesting. Like these roaches, they look just like humans. They would stand on the corner, by the drainages that go where the curbs are. When water floods the street, it goes under the curb, right? Well, they would stand there, right next to those things, and someone would walk by, and they would just grab them. And I remember when I watched that, it was a pretty creepy movie. But now it makes all kinds of sense. Isn't that interesting? They said Judas bug. Did you ever think? I mean, let's just throw this out there. Don't you think it was weird that Judas betrayed Jesus with a kiss? Don't you think it's weird that there's a statue called Eros and Psyche? I'll just show it to you. Um, we'll do Google Images. Don't you think it's odd there's a statue called Eros and Psyche? Let's see, Eros and Psyche. There we go. Eros and Psyche. And look what it is. Eros and Psyche is an angel kissing a woman that's upside down. Look, I mean, this is what Donald Trump has on his coffee table in his Manhattan, multi-million dollar pad. Um, it doesn't make him guilty of something, but it's interesting. I find it fascinating. So anyway, so here's Eros and Psyche, an angel kissing a woman. It's interesting that in the statues, most of the statues, it makes a V. Like, huh, interesting. Okay, so it makes a V with the wings. and most of the statues. And when you know what I know and you go into the twin system, you know, we know that the two intersecting V's make the double U, like, what's her name? Yeah, Taylor Swift standing in between the two giant U's at the VMA Music Awards. I mean, seriously, let's just stop. What the hell? That's your big, that's your giant podium, two giant U's, one on each side of you. And don't you find that odd? I mean, what's up with that? See, look, Taylor Swift. Sorry, Taylor Swift, all you know, scantily clad in standing in between these two U's, and look at the triangle right above her. And there's even a line and a dot in the middle for the capstone. So look what you made me do. And so look, she's in between a double U. I mean, this is just not even arguable anymore. So let me show you this thing I wanted to show you this morning. Okay, so there's this Judas bug that's introduced into the environment where they will mimic the disease roaches and infiltrate their grubby habitat. So far, so good. Until the bugs keep on evolving and learn to mimic their next prey. Humans. Okay. Well, honestly, it'd be like, so what? Except now all the largest ultra in the world's a bug. I mean, there's just no doubt about it. It's a bug. Well, we know bugs are coming out of the pit. Wow, it's perfect, isn't it? Wow, it makes sense. They would worship their king. They would get on their knees and worship their king. It's an idol. We're not supposed to make idols. But they make idols because they worship their idol, because they know everybody's being held under a veil of darkness. And they're like, haha, see, we rule them. That's the whole deal. Watch this. Check this out. Watch this. This is kind of crazy. Okay. Y'all remember Drew Barrymore with her big bug on her dress, right? So here's the eye. Here's the eye. It's got antenna, mandibles, and look at the way the wings fold. I really noticed that. That's why I put in these lines right here. Look. I'll increase this. So look at the wings folded. See how the wings fold in front? Yeah, it's kind of interesting. And this is what kind of prompted me. There we go. Okay, so there's Drew Barrymore, and I'm gonna grab this, and I'm gonna go like this, and I'm gonna shove it up into this right here, and I'm gonna scroll down to a mimic poster. Okay, and I'll put this right here. Look at her wings. Look at that. How creepy is that? How creepy is that? That's just insane. So Drew Barrymore's got the same damn thing. Look at the wings unfolding. Look at her dress. Look at her dress. What is the difference? The answer is there is no difference. Look at that. Yep. See the wings unfolding? Look at Drew Barrymore's dress. Yep. That's from the movie Mimic. So you got to wonder, I mean, you can tell every tree by its fruit. All you have to do is look at what it produces and you can tell what kind of tree it is. And we have come to the end of the road on where was all this leading. You turn the Virgin upside down and all that stuff, there's an agenda. The agenda only leads to one place. It's called the abomination that causes desolation. Therefore, when Matthew 24, Mark 13, I think my scriptures serve me pretty well. Haven't looked this up in a while, but I know what it is. Matthew 24, Mark 13. So we'll go to Bible Gateway here. We'll go to Bible Gateway here. And this is amazing because when you read the two different accounts and the two different Gospels, the Gospel of Matthew, and then we'll go to the Gospel of Mark, and so here we'll do Mark 13, and then over here we'll do Matthew, and we'll do Matthew 24 right here. So we have Matthew 24, and when you see all these things, okay, right here in verse 15, watch this. See, we're even given a caveat. We're even given like a warning in parentheses because that means, pay attention right here. Watch this. When you therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place. Don't y'all know that you are the holy place? We are the temple of God and the Spirit of God dwelleth in us. When you see the abomination, do y'all know what an abomination is? Let me show you this. Let me show you what an abomination is, just so you know. So let's do this. Let's do this real quick. Watch this. Abomination. The word abomination is a thing that causes disgust or hatred, an atrocity, a horror, obscenity, outrage, evil, crime, monstrosity, anathema. Okay, so so an abomination, and over here they put, there's just some fictional pictures of an abomination. Well, there you go. There's an abomination. And so now here's Drew Barrymore wearing a bug on her dress that is identical to the Mimic movie. And I've shown you guys, look, this is consistent. Now see, this is where empirical data comes in. Um, I haven't done this once, twice, three times, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I'll just go on and on. How many times have I shown you different versions of the identical agenda? Because you're looking at the abomination that causes desolation. It makes desolate the temple of God because there's two things in you. There's a good you and a bad you, and that's the abomination that's destroying the temple from the inside. So watch this. So therefore, when you see the abomination of desolation, now remember, desolation means to make desolate like a desert. So it's destroying the temple of God from the inside. Look at this. Spoken of by Daniel the prophet. Look at this. Stand in the holy place. Okay. I've heard preachers like John Hagee's here in San Diego. I've gone to the Hagee ministry. I've gone to other ministries and they're just total phonies. I had them literally lie right to my face at some of these ministries. And I was like, you just lied right to my face. I had a guy actually poke me in the chest, say, I've been in this business 30 years. I'm like, oh, it's a business. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay. Good for you. But the abomination is something that causes hatred and disgust. It's an anathema. It's a monster. It's a monster, monstrosity. When you see the monster, the anathema, the monster that causes desolation, standing in the holy place, which is us, what then what? Whoso readeth, let him understand. Now watch this. Let them that which be in Judea flee to the mountains. Let me tell you something. Go look up your definitions. Let him which is on the housetop, look at this, not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither, well, okay, so let me ask you this. If when you see it, like, oh, there it is. So I'm a precursor to people seeing it live. So if you look up and you see it and you're like, oh my God, kind of like the locust from the pit. Well, where are you supposed to, if you're on the rooftop and it says don't come down to get anything out of your house, if you're on the rooftop and you're not supposed to come down, where are you supposed to go? Let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house. Neither let them which is in the field return back to take his clothes. For woe unto them that are with child and them that give suck in those days. But pray that your flight not be on the Sabbath in the winter, neither on the Sabbath. So then shall be a great tribulation, female rival, such as never was since the beginning of the world, since to this time. See, look, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be. Okay? So, and I've seen people get really tripped up on these verses right here. I've gone and broken them down. They all make total sense. It means when you come to the end of your trial, not the end of the world, because there's a lot of stuff that has to pop off still before the actual complete destruction of the world. Now, watch this. And Mark 13, watch this. So you shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. Don't be troubled. These things must come to pass. Nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, earthquakes in diverse places. Just look at what's going on. Famines, troubles, beginning of sorrows. So they're going to take you, you're going to deliver you up to councils. Been there, done that. Now here we go. But when you see the abomination of desolation, again, spoken of by Daniel the prophet, look at this. Standing where it ought not. Parentheses again. Let him that readeth understand. See, because in order just to understand the abomination, you don't get to understand it by being smart. You don't get to understand it because you called yourself a theologian. Oh, I'm a theologian. I hear people say they're theologians and I laugh at them. I'm like, really? You don't even know everything's upside down. I mean, if you don't know everything's upside down, how do you know anything? That's the first thing the Lord delivered to me. That's what unlocked the entire Bible. That's what unlocked the scroll. Turn it upside down. Now everything in the Bible makes sense. It's like, wow, I wasn't a biblical scholar. As a matter of fact, I'd never even read maybe a page or two out of the Bible before I got saved. And then, all of a sudden, boom, then the Lord called me to service. So anyway, it's pretty wild because here it is. So where should it ought not to be? Standing where it ought not. I'll tell you where it ought not. Right inside of you. That's where it ought not to be, and that's where it is. And so it's inside the human temple is where it is. But once we get converted, we're no longer slaves to the host body suit of lies that we were put in. Now we know that we're born of the Spirit. We're no longer born of the flesh. We got born again of the Spirit. When you're born into this world, you come in head down. When you get born of the Spirit, you get turned upside down, head up. That's the way it works. It's pretty wild. Anyway, so there it is, and I saw this morning, and I was like, man, that is some kind of creepy. Look at that. Drew Barrymore's dress is identical to this gif of Mimic. Look at that. And that's what the St. Stephen's altar is. Let's see. Might as well show you one more picture while we're here. So that's what St. Stephen's altar is. Let's see if I've got it open. The altar, I mean, not the altar, but the organ in St. Stephen's. They have what, a rudimentary image has just, what? Let me show you this so y'all understand vocabulary-wise when I'm speaking. Okay. Rudimentary. Here we go. Fundamental, basic, elementary, primary. Okay. Undeveloped, or there you go. Basic form. So a rudimentary image, is a simple, unsophisticated, just kind of a, a basic image of something. So if I'm drawing a rudimentary image, I'm just drawing, a basic image of whatever it is. Not a lot of detail, just the rudimentary image of it. And so that's how these guys, like to put their stuff. Now here you go. So Drew Barrymore, that's definitely an insect on her dress. There's no doubt about that. That is a bug. Okay. Well, right here, that is a bug too, right there. See the bug? Now, if we take the bug and we go down here and look at this, we put it right here on this altar. It is identical. So the rudimentary image is absolutely identical, and it's on top of a dead sheep. See it? And the sheep has a female reproductive system in it again. So you have a bug. So here's the face of a bug. We'll go down here. We'll simply go right on top of the, there it is. And it's got the whole same wing thing going on as Drew Barrymore. I mean, that is just crazy, guys. I mean, y'all know, and then, and then to be able to match it up consistently, there's the Vatican, there's the mother, there's the mother of exile. She's holding a bug, and, there's the Virgin is a dead sheep, and there's the Olympic Stadium. When anyone says that, oh, you're obsessed with vaginas, I'm like, no, the world is obsessed with vaginas. I'm the guy showing you what it is. I didn't make the stadium, didn't make the altar, but I know exactly what I'm looking at. Been there, seen that. So it's like, whatever, no biggie. So here's all this evidence, little deviants, guys wearing this, putting on a suit of human skin, sheepskin. Here's a guy in the Vatican on the Sistine Chapel that's identical to the little deviants, whatever, a virgin that's a bug, a different virgin that's a bug, another girl that there's a bug coming up from behind her face. If you just crop it and look right here, what a sinister that. So this is the abomination. Get it? There's the abomination. There's the abomination. Here's the abomination. Here's the abomination. Here's the abomination. And again, all these, when you see the abomination, there's the abomination. Here's the abomination. And I'm just going to drag that over onto H.R. Geiger. It's identical. Look. H.R. Geiger with the two xenomorphs. Geiger wanted to know the origin of all things, and he was a member of the occult, and he used to worship Lucifer. And then there's the abomination. So, and there's the abomination. So now we know what the abomination of desolation is. It makes desolate the temple of God, which is us. There's no doubt about it. And on and on and on it goes. I can match this stuff up all day long. If anyone says, you're obsessed with this stuff, it's like, no, I have a supernatural spiritual gift that I can show everybody exactly what it is. You telling me that's not an egg that's being inseminated by a penis? Okay, well, let's just break that down. Where's the penis coming from? Where's the penis coming from? Right here. It's inseminating the female egg, but what's the root of it? Well, it also is death. Where's it coming from? Coming from underground. Where's the vagina? Below ground. So where are the mandibles on the vagina? Here. Okay, below ground. Look, the root system. Two trees. One tree here, one tree here. Baby in a little pod growing up as, as plants. I mean, it's a no-brainer now. No one even has to think about this because it's so obvious. That's why I've been laughing. I'm like, y'all are caught. It's over. I'm not afraid of them. The Bible says, do not fear them that can kill the body, because the body means nothing. The body is like, who cares? And that's what they fear. Anyway, so there, there it all is. There's the abomination. I mean, if you just look at the copious amount of information and where it all leads, I mean, look at that. This image under the Virgin, just look at this face. Look how perfect this is. Watch. I'll size it. Look at that. It's identical. It's perfect. I mean, look. Look right here. Look right here. I mean, look right here. Proboscis. Proboscis. You know what this proboscis is too. So let's just slide it over. Bam. I mean, it's just not even arguable. So if it's not arguable, then you've come to the end of the road. There it is. The Virgin, bugs under the Virgin, skateboards. You have a skateboard with bugs coming out from under the Virgin. You're standing on top of the sigil of Lucifer, and over and over and over again. See, that's what I mean. That's why the other day and I went and blah, 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 blah. It's all the same. So we've got them. They're caught. Anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I thought the mimic thing was just crazy, and the Drew Barrymore thing was just absolutely nuts. But we can take all this stuff and it's all the same, it's all equals this. And we know that that's where the Bible's heading is towards the revelation. Don't you understand? This is also a revelation gift. I mean, y'all know what the word apocalypse means? It means the unveiling. That's what is going on. It's the apocalypse. It's the unveiling. And pretty soon all hell's going to break loose. And I think it's just imminent any moment. Could happen today. Don't know. Could happen any moment. But I guarantee it's coming. So, all right, guys, God bless. I just want to drop in. How creepy is that? There you go. Wow. Anyway, all right, guys, God bless y'all. Have a great day.